Hello? So you still on your phone?
Yep.
Such a dick. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the WagonCast with me, Tomo.
And me, Connor.
And it is the first episode of 2024. Why are you laughing?
The first one before the last one before Christmas.
Love a good recurring meme. So yeah, here we are. We're back. We should probably just cue the intro and then get into it.
We should.
Now.
The theme tune.
No,
Play the theme
stole
tune.
it from Mr. Gran Turismo, who did write the theme tune. We'll have to maybe make our own someday. Maybe. What? We could use...
Which way to Main Street by Wendy Waldman.
What?
Fucking Heartbeat and all by Wendy
That's...
Waldman.
yeah, I was going to say we could use Heartbeat.
No, because then if it does get copyrighted, everything goes down.
Yeah.
Can't
We
just
all go down.
all go down together.
We all stand together. What is that?
Is
Why
that
do I
not,
know that?
is that not Paul McCartney? Is that not like...
Is it?
Oh, fucking...
Well, this is mainly going to be a music episode, and by the sounds of things, we know fuck all about music.
I don't know music.
Well, we have some questions and things that we'll get into later on, but I suppose we should probably talk about our Christmases, because probably about 2 people
Oh, yeah.
give a shit about our Christmas. So, what did you do for Christmas?
Fuck all. Did we not discuss this before Christmas, what we were going to do? And I said fuck all, and then I've done fuck all, so I was true to my word.
Yeah, but like what you say and you do are 2 different things. Like, you could say, I'm going to do fuck all, and then lots could happen.
Ate some food, played a bit of War Thunder.
What's War Thunder?
War Thunder is a massive...
Tell the people...
War Thunder's a free-to-play MMO game. Download it now.
Please don't. For the love
Over
of-
2,000 vehicles.
For the love of Christ, do not download this free-to-play game. It's taken over your life.
It was always there, I just didn't have the internet for it.
The drink was always there.
Just enabled it.
Fair enough.
What did you do?
Trying to think, what did I do? Ate a lot of food.
Same.
Played a lot of Forza.
Don't download Forza. It's not free.
It's free if you have if you pay for something else, you get it for free. That's how subscription services work.
Yeah.
That's where they get you. You know, you still pay for something. Just remember that. So many
That's
times
free.
you played games and they were shit, and I'm like, oh, at least I didn't pay for it. And then actually in the back of your head, you're like, shit, I paid for this. It's not the same, but over time, give it a few months.
You paid a bit for it, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of sickening because when you think about it, right? So your average game now is what, 60, 70 quid?
If
Mad
not
money.
more, like, yeah, they're stupid money
Well,
now.
it hasn't changed that much because because I'm a massive nerd, I have lots of PS2 games and things like that, and I have Enthusia Professional Racing, which was a hell of a racing game if you know what that one was. And it still has the sticker on it from HMV when it was new.
Fuck.
When that game came out in 2005, so really it's any time between 05 and let's say 07 when they were still selling PS2 games.
Mm-hmm.
It was still $49.99.
That's big money.
So nearly 20 years later, it's only went up by a tenner.
20 years.
Nearly 20 years. I
Okay,
said,
yeah.
sir, because it is now 2024. In 2005,
It was only
It was
about 10
19
years
years
ago.
ago.
Like, it was only about 10 fucking years ago.
I know it feels like that sometimes. See the amount of things I've seen on like Facebook and stuff that's like cars that turned 20 this year, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, my knees hurt just reading this.
Joint pain.
Yeah, I know. My eyes cracked looking at it, never mind my knees. And over Christmas, I did some work on my GTA, which I'm going to do some more on tomorrow.
Good stuff.
We're nearly there. I had to wait on some parts to arrive, and then I broke something, which is kind of very sickening. And I had to take a step away from it, because sometimes when something breaks, or you realise you're pushing yourself too much.
You're just ready to set the thing on fire, like?
Yeah, literally. I'm just like, nope. Step away. That's the
Yeah.
sign of becoming an adult, I think.
Yes.
So I'm really looking forward to getting back to building models.
Looking forward to being an adult.
No, I actually looked forward to being an adult my entire life, thinking I'm going to get my driver's license and then I'll hit 25, my insurance will be cheap.
How'd that go for you?
At 25, it was great. At 26, it's all went to shit. But I know that's why I'm looking forward to getting back to model making, which I'm going to go and arrange. People can't see right now.
It's over there.
It's literally there.
If you
Can you not see it? It's there.
If you had the 3D... If you had an Oculus Rift at the minute, you could just turn your head and see it.
Or an Oculus Quest. Rift
is that what the new one is?
Yeah, I don't have
Rift is.
Yeah, literally. Like,
I'm not down with the virtual reality.
I haven't turned
Virtual
mine,
insanity.
I haven't turned mine on in fucking ages. Like, I haven't turned it on since we got new internet. Actually,
You're missing out.
yeah, I probably am. See, I got into Forza, and then I didn't want to get out of Forza because I play it all the time with my best mate Corey. So I don't want to learn another physics engine. You know.
Yeah,
But
I feel that.
that's fucking by the way. Yeah, if you start playing another tank game, I mean, like,
I think War Thunder supports Oculus.
no way.
I think it does for the
Then I would be interested
for the
in playing
flying,
it.
maybe.
Oh, for the flying.
Maybe.
Because you sit in a tank. That's
Well, you could
I
do
would
it.
get
I'm sure you
behind
could. You could do it in the tank, but it's gonna be claustrophobic as fuck.
You just sit
Gonna
in
get
there,
me
like,
flashbacks.
You can try it because the Quest just runs on USB-C. You don't need HDMI.
Oh, you just
anymore.
plug it in, then you're
plug
away.
it straight in, job done.
Must try it and see if it actually works.
Give it a go because your
Yeah.
PC's bound to be able to handle it.
I'd say so. Yeah.
That'd be class.
I right enough because then it just instead of looking at the screen, you're looking at the
Yeah.
We'll give it a go.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Probably not something we need to talk about.
No, not the podcast. That's business best kept to the caravan.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that's what back to what we were talking about. It's why I'm excited to get back to making models because when I was a teenager making models, I was so set on it has to be perfect. And the amount of kits that are sitting there that are part started because I accidentally scratched the body or something and thought, no, I can't do this anymore. I just put it away. So, look at some of them are weathered. Weathering is where you like make them look intentionally like rusty or dirty or old or whatever.
So I do all of mine.
Yeah, it's, to me, I always thought if a model's weathered, it's because they fucked up and they needed to hide it. But then I realized, it's an art unto itself. But so yeah, we will be doing model videos like very, very, very soon, like in the next next week or two.
Yeah,
I won't be here probably next week.
fair enough.
Well, no, I'll come down at some point to podcast. I don't know why we're talking about this.
Just let them know.
Just so you know, by
He's going to be away. You can rob him.
This house is never empty, actually, so don't you even think about it. It's like No Me, Knowing You when he's talking about the fucking. Oh, have you seen No Me, Knowing You? Probably like a long time ago. He basically says we've made a replica of my home, not my actual home, because last time we did that, I got robbed. Anyway, we have got some questions and we've got a main theme to talk about this episode, so that's probably enough shite talk. That's never enough shite talk, really, but it's probably enough shite talk. So,
right, what bad hot takes have you fuckers got for us this week?
Well, Kieran Wilson has just decided to fucking just fall on the keyboards and send us like a million. We'll pick one or two from his
one per customer. Let's see if we get that many questions.
I know. Well, the first one, tell you what I have learned actually from our main question is how fucking depressed most of our listeners must have been at some point in their lives.
That's interesting.
First one comes from officially Emma Thompson again. Officially E.T. called Elliot. And he says, am I forever Emma Thompson now? Yes. Yeah. The funny thing is, I actually had no idea. Like, I knew the name Emma Thompson, so I just like officially E.T. the Emma Thompson. Yeah. I had to go and Google her to try and remember who the fuck she was.
Emma Thompson, like.
And you know what? I've already forgotten.
She is in Love Actually. She's the woman who gets cheated on. Alan Rickman buys her a fucking Joni Mitchell CD instead of a necklace because he bought the Office Tower necklace. And then she's also the teacher in Harry Potter.
I'm learning a lot about Connor today.
And she's also, I think she's in like the 1995 adaptation of Pride and Prejudice. I think she plays.
Learning an awful lot about Connor this week.
I drag my net wide.
All he gets is barnacles.
Yes.
Trying to think of SpongeBob terms there.
What else did Emma Thompson do?
Spoken like a man who wears a Barber jacket, like.
Don't know. Can't think of. I'm not going to Google it because that's cheating.
Wouldn't be unlikely though. All the same, so just whip out the phone in the middle of the podcast and start Googling things.
She loads of stuff.
See, I kept mixing her up with Emma Bunton.
Right, yeah, that one member of the fucking Spice Girls, like.
Yeah.
who was in AbFab.
Yeah, I actually
Sometimes.
I thought it was her, but it
They're
wasn't her.
completely different people. Like,
Completely different. Just an Emma and a at the end.
yeah.
So I thought that's who Emma Thompson was.
What did Emma Bond do? Like, one of the Spice Girls couldn't even sing. I don't know which one it was. But they didn't.
Probably Posh.
They had the mic switched off. Like, that was.
Nice. I wonder how many like girl groups, boy bands.
Do they switch the mics off? Probably more than you'd think.
Yes.
Because a lot of them are just cultivated for like style and to sell CDs.
I'm gonna tell you something that I watched over the Christmas break, and it's a secret between you and me.
Yeah, okay.
These ones can't know about it.
All right.
On New Year's Eve, the last film I watched with my girlfriend, and I'm clarifying that to let you know that I have one.
Okay.
I watched. I'm not gonna say I was made to watch because I entertained the thought. We watched the S Club movie.
I didn't know there was an S Club movie.
I didn't know there was an S Club movie until one time we went to see X. And she's seen it. And she's like, I need this. I was like, I guess you need that. Yeah, it's called Seeing Double, and it's as
I don't know if anybody
amazing as you'd expect.
Was it done at like the peak of their fame, or was it
Yeah.
like
It was the last
cash
thing.
grab?
It was the last thing they did before they split up. So I don't know.
It obviously didn't go very well, man.
Might have killed them. Gareth Gates was in it.
Actually, they were all mates back then.
What's
weren't
really
they?
funny is I see near the end of the film, there's like a Hogwarts big table kind of thing, where it's like the idea is that they're clones or whatever, and he's cloned all these different celebrities.
Gareth Gates says.
No, that would be a
Is he the master?
much funnier film. There's this big like Hogwarts Grand Hall, and all the clones are sitting at it.
Right.
And there's clones of all the S Club members and the actual S Club members. Oh, I bet that wasn't hard to film in 2003. Said that right. Now go over there and change outfit.
Fucking hell.
And all of them were like imposters of these celebrities, except Gareth Gates, who was the actual Gareth Gates. He's just sitting in among like fake Michael Jackson. Gareth Gates was the actual Gareth Gates. But yeah, we watched that, and Jen was a big fan of S Club back in the day, and she and I and probably everybody else thought that Rachel Stevens was doing most of the singing because.
Does it always sound like Rachel Stevens?
No, it's just because she's the only one who had any career after they split up, really. She's the good one, let's be real. And it turns out it wasn't her at all. And it made me wonder, like in a similar vein to the whole microphone being turned off thing, it's like how many of these groups do people think that one person is actually the good singer, and it turns out they aren't necessarily not the good singer, they're just, there's more than one good singer.
That's interesting. So Rachel Stevens didn't sing much?
Well,
Or
in
they
the
all
songs
sang?
that we knew, it was mostly the blonde doll that was being shown as the singer, as the main one.
I have no clue who else was in. Rachel Stevens was blonde, was she not?
Yeah, like a dirty blonde. That's in no way anything about her as a person. Yeah, there's like a really blonde one who looks like she smoked 40 a day.
I couldn't name you anybody else who was in S Club 7. I don't know Rachel Stevens because of you.
They weren't S Club 7 at the time.
Were they just S Club?
Yeah, there was only 6. There was 7 beforehand, and then the film came out.
Were they S Club 8 at one stage? Like, did they add one?
I honestly, right, I need to like look up the lore of S Club.
No, you don't. Your life won't be any better.
Someday there's going to be a podcast where I educate all of you on the ways of S Club.
I always think that they're steps as well. Because
Steps to getting better.
no,
Not
like
thinking about it.
Steps, the band.
Yeah, I know.
'Cause
Yeah,
they're-
like 5, 6, 7, 8.
I couldn't even tell you who was in Steps. No one was called H. Like,
No, I meant that's one of the songs. I don't mean that's like the amount of people that were in the band. 5, 6, 7, 8.
okay, fair enough. Yeah,
Okay.
my microphone's turned off during this.
That's actually.
I get dubbed over by somebody
He's
else.
not even here. He's green screened. It's just me being schizophrenic. This whole 437 thing is just me going insane slowly. He's my posh alter ego. Fuck's sake. So next one, Mark Donnelly messages in and says, views on pegging. So personally, we have a clothes horse. So I tend to just hang
Oh,
them
just
over that.
peg the clothes over the
No, I don't
horse.
use pegs. I just put them on the clothes horse because they
Right,
don't blow
okay,
away.
yeah.
Sometimes if it's like a bed sheet or something like that, I'll put it over the banister.
You'd peg it.
No. I'd put it over the banister and let it drape down, and then
Right.
because fucking bed sheets are big. Like,
Mm-hmm.
What's your views on pegging?
Yeah, no, wouldn't be something I'd be interested in. No, I just use the tumble dryer.
She's one of my favorite Muppets. What? Miss Peggy.
She's my favorite from Mad Men, like, Peggy.
Yes. She's really good at minding the pub in EastEnders as well. Peggy Mitchell.
Yeah.
And fuck, I think I'm out.
Yep, let's move on.
That's good enough.
Yep.
So yeah, that's our views on pegging. Mark, thanks for that. That's okay. We'll move on to Kieran Olsen's tirade of questions. Right, okay. Let's go for number 1. And he says, do we fancy swapping a Mark II Golf for that Mark I Polo?
Question for you, Gavin Gray.
See, that's what I'm going to explain to the listeners. So at the minute we have a Mark I Polo for sale. It's bright orange. Please buy it. Get it out of our yard. Not that we don't like it or anything. It's just it's not ours. So we're selling it for a friend as kind of starting to sell some things, just trying to get some money in for the YouTube channel, and it's a project.
Mm-hmm.
It's not by any stretch of the imagination fucked or anything. Like it's a real good wee car and all the stuff's with it. Please buy it. But Kieran has let's explain it to the listeners. At one point in time I had a yellow Mark II Golf.
I think Kieran had it first, did he?
Yeah, no, I was going to get to that.
Okay, right.
But Kieran's not here right now.
We get there when we get there.
Yeah. Go means go. So
yeah.
I had a yellow Mark II Golf. Well, I bought it from him, and then I sold it back to him whenever I needed money to buy my maroon Mercedes that I drive every day. And he wants to swap the yellow Golf for it. And the sickening thing is, if that was our Polo, I'd have said absolutely yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Because we don't own it, and it's kind of a pain in the ass actually selling things for other people. So, because it means that we've no call on that. Like, sure, I would swap the Polo for that Golf, but it's not our Polo to swap, and the guy who owns the Polo wouldn't do the swap. And the likes of the Mercedes we're trying to sell at the minute, the gold W123, we had a guy who's looking to look at it, and he wanted to take it away and get it looked at and leave a car here for us to, like, as kind of if anything happens, you've got my car sort of thing. Me and you personally would be totally fine with that if we're getting the car sitting there.
Yeah.
There's something there, like, but it's not ours, so we can't do that. And there's just a lot of things me and you would be like, fuck it, be alright. But a lot of people actually care about their things. Really weird. Have you ever tried that before? Nah, same. Now he says also about you, as if it's a different thing, as if he didn't send all 5 of these like at once. He says, have you ever seen the VW SP2?
No.
Some bus hi, sir, hi. Have you ever seen it before? I know.
No.
It's the Brazilian one.
It's kind of Brazilian what? Like a
Volkswagen. It's based on a Beetle, I think.
All right.
It's
Okay.
a big long swoopy thing. Have a couple of Hot Wheels of them, I think.
All right.
I'll put a picture up. But if you don't know what it is, then
no, you know.
Good talk. The other ones. Shall we move on?
Probably, yeah.
Fair enough.
You got 2 of them answered, Kieran. That'll do you.
Yeah, that's a good ratio. Okay, so let's get on to our main topic then. So, we were in the garage the other day working on what were we working on?
Probably your car, was it?
It's always fucking my car. Actually, I don't remember what it was.
I don't know, but we were working.
We were swapping the
rare.
wheels. Hang on, fucking back that up. We were working, which was rare.
Sorry, you were working, which is rare.
Are you he speaks in the third person now? That's what it is. You fucking dick. And what did you put on? We have a wee like ghetto blaster.
Yeah,
that's so weird, but that is what they call them, ghetto blasters. We have a ghetto blaster in the garage, and what did you even put on? Was it just because I know there was some Gabriel,
It must have been Peter Gabriel.
not Gabrielle, but Gabriel. No eye
Peter
patches
Gabriel.
here.
Probably the only person who's ever called him Gabriel by his surname. Put a bit of Gabriel.
Sup, my dudes? Got the latest. Gabriel.
Peter Gabriel.
It was Peter Gabriel was on, and
Well, we were basically just wondering, or I hypothesized that basically no artist has any more than like 2 good albums.
which I said that's bollocks.
But then I proved you wrong. Proved indefinite.
No, indubitably. No, what you said was not many artists have an album that is so.
Yeah, not many artists have it, so no.
Which is an album that to us just it's flawless from start to finish.
It is a masterpiece, yeah. It's Peter's masterpiece. I call him Peter because I'm big mates with him, you know.
All right, okay.
Me and Peter.
It's like when you call me Pattison, it's like I call him Gabriel. It doesn't really work the same when they're both first names. What are you doing with that microphone?
I don't know. Anyway.
You're fidgeting now. Stop it. You're on camera now.
Just thinking about Peter Gabriel.
Oh, God. Stop twiddling with yourself when you're talking about Peter Gabriel.
But anyway, yeah, basically we said that we were trying to think of albums that we wouldn't skip anything on.
Yeah, like every single time. Like you could put it on in the garage or in the car.
Probably
the car is better because if it's in the garage, you would usually let things slide in there because you're busy.
Yeah. And just listen all the way through.
And not need to skip. So we had to think about it there and then, and obviously I was like, oh, Queens of Stone Age, and then I was like, actually no, they all have songs on them that I'd be like, nah. And I don't mean like songs you played too much.
Just skippers, like.
Yeah, because it's your own fault if you've listened to it too much and sickened yourself of it, then fair enough. But if it's a song that you skip because you're like, no, I don't like that, that's different.
Like, a good example is The Police, where they're all really good albums.
Oh, I was looking through The Police and I was like, no.
But those couple of songs in every album that Sting didn't
do. That's my mother. Get my mother on the phone. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's no wonder. It's just like. I just split up after that too.
So basically, if you don't know, there's 3 fellas in the Police, the band The Police, and
where's the man on? Sting.
There's Sting, and then there was the other 2.
Stuart Copeland
and Andy Summers. They're all really good musicians.
I couldn't have told you Andy Summers. Like, I always forget about him.
They're all
because he's wholesome.
They're all really good musicians, but Sting is the only one of them that can really write pop music.
I'll give him that.
Yeah, because you're gonna go Spyro the Dragon theme by Stuart Copeland on the drum.
And not just that, he also did the soundtrack to Good Burger with Kane and Gale.
Fantastic.
Anyway. Oh no.
Anyway, basically, I don't know how it must have come about, but like the other 2 complained to the record label and made it so that Sting had to let them write 2 songs in every album.
Seriously?
That's something that it's something like that happened, and then basically so there's like 2 shit songs in every album that they have done, and they're always like novelty songs like Mother and
Behind My Camel.
And and what's the one where he's like talking about his son being gay and stuff?
Oh, On Any Other Day?
Yeah.
I like that one.
Well, it's not the worst of them, but it's
not the worst, but
it's definitely not up to like
No Time This Time, personally.
Yeah, which I think is
it's the last one, I think. So it's not, if they ended the song early, it'd be alright.
Yeah, but basically it won't ruin the albums, but it creates songs that you would just skip if you were
if you were like, sitting intently listening to music, you're like, oh Jesus.
Yeah, because they're quite jarring as well.
Yeah, really jarring. They're actually hard to listen to.
Yeah.
Something I just thought about, so before we came on, when we made our cup of tea and our stop to Pepsi Max.
I made the Pepsi.
I thought, right, let's go through our Spotify and just pick some albums. I'm like, I didn't think, but I've thought about it now. Do we count
Prog?
No. Bonus tracks or UK only tracks?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Just the bare bones album.
Okay, then I have another one to add. Because I was like, oh, it's good up to that point, and then it's shit. And I was like, well, hang on, those are bonus tracks. So they don't really count.
No, just the pure original core album.
Then I have another one I'm going to add. Now,
Right.
should we go through our listeners' ones first, or should we give our ones?
Probably ours first, so it doesn't look like we've copied anyone.
Good point. Well, I'm going to start with the one that I'm going to now add in case I forget about it, because I
Right.
didn't take a screenshot of it.
Okay.
And I would like to start off with, and it's probably not going to set the tone for the rest of the albums, but the Scissor Sisters' debut album is flawless up until it does the whole message from Miss Matronic, and then there's a scream, and then there's like 2 bonus tracks. They're just like, what the fuck?
So that album was called The Scissor Sisters,
Yeah,
was it?
it's the first album.
Let me have a little look.
Oh.
I don't know it.
Oh, well, good for you, because I meant lucky for you, not good for you. Well, fucking good for you.
Does it have Mary on it?
Yeah.
I know Mary.
Laura and Tucking, Take Your Mama. Like,
What is it?
yeah,
That'd be
it's
a
got
good
like
album.
the hits. The only big hit it doesn't have is basically fucking.
Oh, it hits on the
Don't
radios
Forget
on that.
Dancing.
Yeah.
Like up until Message from Miss Matronic.
Yeah. And are
It's-
they are bonus tracks, are they?
Yeah, they're bonus
Right.
tracks for the UK.
And it's got Filthy Gorgeous and all that.
Yeah, like it has the hits.
Yeah, no, good album. Yeah.
So I could stick that. In fact, I had done quite a lot.
Yeah.
Probably around lower 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah, lower 6th. I discovered that and fucking played it and I was like, whoa. But I had the iPod, which would show like album artwork and what you were listening to. This was before Spotify and stuff were really popular.
Yeah.
I used to hide it in my pocket because I didn't want people to know I was listening to
This is
Scissor
the
Sisters.
Sisters.
I thought
Yeah.
I'm going to get bullied. I took all the flack for Sophie Ellis Baxter. I'm not going to have it again for Scissor Sisters.
Fair enough.
So, yep. Oh, yeah. The lucky for you thing. Quite a lot of the ones who've been suggested, I don't know, and you might not know.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
So between us,
We can take a look at them when we come through and be like,
yes, still
and
don't
we'll
know
be
them.
like, nah. Sorry.
Well, there's one of mine.
Well, I mentioned prog. Like, obviously, if you put on fucking Dark Side of the Moon, you're not going to skip any of it. I don't know if that really counts.
That's my.
What are you going to
controversial one.
fucking skip in Dark Side? Like,
It's not that.
we hear this wrong opinion. Whatever this is gonna be.
I knew that. I actually said to Colin, I was like, I've got one that's really controversial, but I have to say it. I'm sorry.
Is this it? Dark Side?
Yeah,
What?
it's Dark Side. In fact, it's most of Floyd's stuff. They all have a song that I would happily skip.
What?
And I know, oh, it's meant to mean this. It's meant to signify this. It's important. Oh, it's it.
Which bit on Dark Side?
On the Run.
I don't even know.
Well, there you fucking go.
No, like, I don't look at the track names. I literally just stick the album
I
on.
just
Like,
feel the
I
music.
just vibe.
Fucking dead.
No,
On
to
the
be
Run.
fair, to be fair to you, I not a huge. I like The Wall, but I wouldn't listen to the Wall the whole way through anymore.
Not anymore. No, I would have done.
I would have done
Probably
a
a
16.
bad thing to listen to that album the whole way through if you're not in the best of headspace. Because that album was fucked.
Yeah.
Great album, but it's hard.
Oh, On the Run comes before time.
Yeah.
What
On the
happens
Run
in On the Run?
It's the
that's-
instrumental one where it's like.
Nah, it's part of the album. Like, it's not. It definitely isn't jarring
Doesn't
or
need
anything.
to be there. It's a wee bit fucking jarring. Like,
I don't find it. I don't think so.
nah, I would always skip it. And
But like,
no.
no, like I would.
I could do without it being there. That would be a flawless album if that wasn't there, personally. But I love Pink Floyd to bits, and I know I'm going to get hate for saying anything on that album at all is in anything other than absolute perfection. But
Yeah, no, it's a good album. I
On
wouldn't.
the Run is just like,
Wouldn't listen to The Wall.
did you have a fucking time limit you had to meet or something like?
Oh, we can only fit so much on a record, can't you?
Yeah, they are.
Wish You Were Here.
Is that the one? Are we back on topic here, or are you talking about what you'd skip?
I wouldn't skip anything. Wish You Were Here.
Okay.
I don't think.
Shadow and Crazy Diamond.
Basically, the whole
Cigar,
album's just
Cigar.
China and the Crazy Diamond, like.
Yeah, pretty much. Shadow and Crazy Diamond with interludes. Yeah, it did appear to me as the one I wouldn't skip. To be
Yeah.
fair. That and Animals.
See, I
It's
never
all
got
20
into-
minutes fucking long anyway, so
That's what I mean. They're like, if you skip it, you skip the whole thing.
pretty much. It's like skipping Tubular Bells, like.
Yeah, I guarantee you Bells can't really count because the whole thing is just one song.
I know.
Jeff Wayne's musical War of the Worlds.
With Phil in it.
Featuring Phil.
He ended the word.
It's prog rock. It's just one big like fucking thing with
Concept album.
Forever Autumn in the middle, like, so it's.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing. I know that.
But
So it's like, I need to listen to that sometime, actually, like from start to finish.
it's actually good, but it does trail off towards the end. I mean, it's listenable.
Mm-hmm.
If you put the effort in to listen to the first bit of it, you wouldn't probably skip it, but you might if you were in a hurry.
Oh, fuck! You know that the world's over. Come on, get it. Is the war over yet or what?
So that, but then again, that's Prague as well. So, okay, give me another one from your.
Now,
list.
people are going to be like, Jesus Christ, what does this guy listen to? But it does get better. It's quite a varied list, but number one, and it's a recent one, recent by my standards. I wouldn't skip a single song on Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa. Every song on that is a good song.
That's the one with like levitating on it.
Yeah. See all the songs by her, except for like One Kiss. It's probably on that album.
One Kiss is shy anyway.
Yeah, it's a bit shit, isn't it? It's a McDonald's song, like.
Yeah.
But every song on that Future Nostalgia album is a bop. All of them, like, they're all good. Like, there's none of them be like, oh, so listen to that. You know?
Fair enough.
I'm like, oh, that's a tune. That's a tune. That's also a tune. That's a good tune.
Fair enough. Okay.
You could stick it on and know I don't need to skip this.
Yeah, I can't say anything other because I don't know it well enough. I know that
you're gonna hear this a lot tonight between the two of us.
Probably.
Well, I don't know it. I'll take your word for it.
I'll have to take your word for that. Unless there's something I really take offense to, but
there will be.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I would say that is.
I've written down Kate Bush, and I've like
just the artist.
Pretty much like her first 6 albums. I will actually.
Like 2.
She's got about 7 or 8. I'll sit down if I'm doing work and listen to her first 6 albums.
I'm really glad you added in if I'm doing.
If I'm doing something,
I'm just going to sit down.
I'm just gonna sit down in my armchair and fucking like listen to like 6 hours of Kate Bush. No, if I'm working, I'll like sometimes just put them on back to back and just listen to all of them.
And you don't have to think about it then. You can just let it go.
Yeah.
All right, good talk. Right, my next one is one you haven't listened to, or maybe you've heard of, but you haven't listened to.
Yeah.
Well, I think you've listened to it. Be amazed if you have. It comes from 1990, and it is by a band called Danzig.
Yeah, haven't listened to it.
Fair enough. It is Danzig 2, Lucifuge, and there's probably not a lot of point in talking to you about it for very long then because you've not heard of it. It's the way I heard somebody describe Danzig as this, and because of that I can't unhear it. They say if Jim Morrison was still alive and decided to do metal,
he would sound like that.
He would sound like that. Because it's not all like, it's not fucking blah, metal.
Does he sound like it, Jim Morrison?
Yeah.
When he talk, is he like...
I swear to God, right, see when this is over, we'll put on some Danzig and I'll be like, that's Jim Morrison. Close your eyes. And Jim Morrison has gone metal.
Fair enough.
And you're like, holy fuck, so it is. But that album, Lucifuge, the second one, every song on it to me is unskippable. On the first album, I think there's 1 or 2. I'm just like, I could do without. It's a bit blasé, which Danzig has never been described as ever.
Yeah.
But that second album, to me, there's not a skipper on it. It's good shit. Like it's good metal, but there's also kind of bluesiness to it. It's okay. Bluesy metal kind of.
Yeah, that's probably all right.
So don't think it'll be your thing. There's a bit of, it's not screaming, but there's a bit of shouting.
Fair enough.
You know, but it might be your thing. I mean, I've walked in and heard Biggie going, so
yeah,
anything's possible.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, the Fugees, the score, I'd listen to the whole way through, which is also
the score
rap.
like the Fugees album. Like
yeah, they only had 2 albums.
Right. Okay.
And then they broke up
because they were too busy paying the royalties on the fucking songs.
Yeah, I mean, all rap songs are like that, aren't they? They're all basically just 80s music.
Isn't it amazing how much money rappers and things make from sampling songs? Whenever like it can't be that cheap.
They must have to pay a good chunk of their fucking.
They'd have to.
Like, yeah.
They'd have to do it knowing that song's going to be a hit. I know my song will be a hit if I use somebody else's song that was already a hit.
Well, sometimes they just do it and don't ask, don't they? And then they pay later.
Is that right? Fuck Daddy. Or P. Diddy or whatever the fuck it is. What does he go by nowadays? Probably his fucking jail bench.
Yeah. That's the one that has...
Kill Me Softly.
Yeah, Kill Me Softly, the Ready or Not, all that.
I doubt there was much royalties to be paid on Ready or Not, to be fair. Like,
why not?
it's
just Enya. The
No, it's
the
not.
sample on Ready or Not, or yeah, is Enya.
Really? No. You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's not Enya. That's
The back of the sample in that song is Enya.
what?
It's Boudica by Enya.
Right. Okay. I thought it was a different song altogether.
Nope. There you go.
Heads fried, boys. Is that your next choice? Have you another choice?
I can go again if you want. Sticking with Enya. Go with Enya's family. I've got Clonad
Who,
and
like her dad, her ma?
her brothers and sister. Or Clonad.
I'm lost. I don't know the.
Enya's family is Clonad. The rest of them are Clonad, and
Oh.
Enya is separate to them. She like had her own career.
I'm so lost. Hang on, like, give me like a.
All right, look.
Don't do what you did with the Defenders.
All right, look. Go back to the year.
Picture the scene. Donegal.
It is Donegal.
I know it's Donegal.
It's Donegal. Enya's dad has a pub, and then he makes all his kids sing on stage.
I thought you were just going, and then he makes all his kids.
He makes the kids first, then he makes them sing on stage.
Sounds very abusive.
One of them is Enya, and then the rest of them go on to form Clonad.
To be fair, if it wasn't for one of them being called Enya, then he wouldn't be Enya's dad.
True, no, we wouldn't. There you go.
Right, so the band of the rest of her family was called Clonad.
Clonad, yeah.
Right. Clonad Head, that's a place, isn't it?
It's just maybe, I don't know. I don't spend much time in Donegal.
Yeah, fair enough. You should. Although you
nice,
do make
yeah.
it rain every single time you go
Does
there.
rain up
I'm
there,
not
yeah.
talking about dollar fucking bills.
It does rain. So, like, interestingly, like, Clonad, you can get so many genres out of Clonad and Enya, right? Like, so, like, Enya is on fucking The Score, which is gangster rap, basically.
Okay.
And then you've got...
Have you ever heard of the show Tenable? Where there's all these
I'd be class at this.
different links.
Then you've got Saltwater by Chicane, which is like...
Chicane? Like
Chicane.
the type of turn?
Yeah, this is the name of a dance artist from the night, like trance from the 90s,
Okay.
which is a sample of the theme from Harry's Game by Clonad. And then you've got like the theme tune from Last of the Mohicans, which is by Clonad. Unreal, boy.
Class.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is that like every genre comes from
Yeah.
one band in
Every
Donegal.
genre comes from Donegal.
Donegal is the music capital of the world.
But what is your music?
Oh,
What is your album? that you
oh,
want
I was
stick
going
with?
to say Macalla, which is the one they released in 1985, I think. Just a good album.
No skips.
No skips.
Fair enough.
No skips.
My next one, we both know and love very well.
So,
You might. Well, that goes without saying.
yeah, so goes without saying.
So yeah,
This is the thing that started it all.
I don't know. This one you might not know who they are or who the album is or what the album is, but you will know one of the songs that's on it positively.
Me or them?
Everybody who's ever been born,
Right, okay.
even ones born
No.
now. Fuck you, you're ended. The original soundtrack by 10cc.
Yeah.
They're all very, very different, but they're all good.
Yeah.
None of them are skippers.
I don't know if I'd listen to it the whole way through without skipping. Let me have a look here.
Let me just find a way to tell you you're wrong.
Just be
See, the problem with a band like that or an album like that is when there's lots of different styles or genres on it, it depends on what mood you're in.
That's right. I went to show Low Cream in London, and he was lying on his grass smoking a fag. And I said, "Look, you got to clean up your garden, man." And he said, No, I like the garden. Oh, it's One Night in Paris. Not, yeah, to be fair, like that is... There's no skippers in that album.
For context to that one.
We met a man who met Lol Cream from 10cc, and that's what he said, that he used to smoke fags on his back in his garden, which is all overgrown.
Yep, and that is exactly the voice he said it in. There's a video not on our channel, but on the Mercedes Club channel, with an interview with him.
Yeah.
Is it mentioned in that interview? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all an interview. Yeah.
Don't ask.
It had no reference to what the fuck we were talking about, but it's like,
Yeah, it was literally like, so tell us about this Mercedes. Well, back in the 70s, yeah, I met Lol Cream in his garden, smoking a fag. Yeah, like, the one everybody knows in the album is, like, I'm not
who'd
in love.
be a channel swimmer?
Everybody knows Channel Swimmer. But
Only a fool.
like, there's no bad songs in that album.
There's not.
Their other ones have a lot of skippable songs.
The one that everyone knows off that is I'm Not in Love.
I just said that.
Did you?
Yeah.
The one that everyone knows off that album's I'm Not in Love. Did you know that?
Fuck, is that the one everybody knows?
Yeah.
So
Was it sampled recently?
No, it was just used in some Marvel shite.
Was it?
Yeah. Guardians of the Shithole.
I never saw that.
Shitholes of the Galaxy.
I actually never saw that.
Good.
I swear it was covered in something though.
Sampled or covered?
Maybe covered.
I don't know. Everything's fucking covered these days.
True.
But yeah, that album there, like, as I said, it can depend on the mood you're in. Is the problem whenever it's such a varied album.
I love One Night in Paris, and One Night later that night in Paris, and later again that same night in Paris. Part 3.
That is the song that Freddie Mercury said inspired Bohemian Rhapsody.
I'm not surprised because it is very similar to Bohemian Rhapsody, where they don't really know what song they're singing. It's
It's the 3 songs in
changes,
one.
yeah. Like it could have been 3 tracks, but it's just one.
Yeah, and it came out first, and he said it. So fuck you all. That is like my go-to. Like, not that song is played very fucking often, but anytime it comes on, I'm like, did you know? Right?
Queen were inspired by this.
That's right. So that was that one.
I'm gonna give you 2 in 1. 2 in 1.
It's like Saturday Night all over again.
Talking Heads, Remain in Light, Speaking in Tongues.
See, I looked at Talking Heads and I thought,
Would you skip something on Speaking in Tongues? What would you skip on Speaking in Tongues?
well,
You're a fucking asshole. I'm not friends with you anymore.
well, let me, because I looked through my list and I was like,
Are you telling me you would skip Swamp or Moon Rocks?
No, I think I would skip I Get Wild.
No, that's class. I Get Wild.
I know the song, like. But if I was picking a Talking Heads album, that absolutely would be the one.
The one that you like?
Yeah, it's the one I would pick. Like, it's the go-to one. The only song it's missing is fucking Once in a Lifetime, like. And Road to Nowhere. If it had them two, it would be like a greatest hits of Talking Heads album, like.
Yeah. And I also like
Psycho Killer ever, but, you know,
I like Remain in Light too, which is the Thinking Person's Talking Heads album. It's the like.
Right? Why do you like it then? That was almost too easy, wasn't it? Like.
Anyway, okay. What's your next one then?
My next one is another 80s album.
Adventurous today, aren't we?
Oh,
All of these
yes.
fucking albums. Have been
Speak
good.
for yourself. I had fucking Dua Lipa, Sister Sisters, and it's by a duo. And it again, it kind of depends on your vibe, but I still wouldn't skip any songs on it if I was putting it on. Songs from the Big Chair by Tears for Fears.
It's on my list actually. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. It's weird that you call them a duo. I guess they are.
It's weird you call them a duo.
Because
There's
it's just Tears for Fears though. It's not like.
They're still a duo. Pet Shop Boys is still 2 people. Black Keys is still 2 people. Like.
Yeah, I know, but whatever. I have that too, and I have the Hurtin' as well.
I don't know it well enough.
Do you know?
That's got
I like
Shelter and all on it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
See, I know songs from it, but I've never sat and listened to it.
Those are my 2 Tears for Fears albums that I like. I'm not really too fussed on Sowing the Seeds of Love.
No, I wouldn't do that.
No.
It sounds inappropriate and rude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So there you go. We both got the same.
There we
album.
go. No
flexing.
If anybody doesn't know the Big Chair from Tears for Fears, it's got Everybody Wants to Rule the World on it. It's the big one off that.
It's Tears for Fears' is I'm Not in Love.
Basically, yeah. And then it also, The Hurting has Mad World on it, which
that too.
I think
Gary Jules did it.
Yeah, Gary Jules did. No, I don't
Well,
think he did it better, but I think everyone knew that song a few years ago, but I haven't heard it in ages from Gary Jules.
I haven't either.
It was in Donnie Darko, which came out in like the early 2000s, and everyone's
never seen it.
It's okay.
But I knew it from what some other nerds knew it from. It was used in one of the trailers, if not the first trailer, for Gears of War.
I have put on my list The Joshua Tree by U2.
Right, I'm gonna cover my ears. You talk to the people over there now.
Well, no, I basically put it on there just to get a reaction out of you. Like, I do like it, and I wouldn't skip anything on it, but
I would.
I would not play it at all.
I would take it out of the box really carefully, and then I'd set it on the ground, and I'd take a shit on it. And then
that's not very nice.
I'd stamp on it after shitting on it, Connor.
That's not very nice.
I would put myself through the misery of having my own shit on my shoe and listen to that shite. I'd rather have the shit on my shoe than the shit on my ears, lad. That's
I think
you got you play it right into the hands. You got what you wanted.
I think that U2's first few albums are very good. And I think they suffered because of what they did in the 90s, which wasn't very good.
What? Continue making music?
Yeah, well, they sort of got a wee bit pretentious in the 90s.
A wee bit.
Yeah, but like, you see,
Small
fucking,
bit.
you see,
I just
like,
don't trust anyone who wears sunglasses all the time.
Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder. He's blind. He can't help it.
Just the blues. He doesn't need to wear
I
it.
Blues. I like the Blues Brothers 2000.
He could just wear like a balaclava with the eyes not covered. We're a borderline now. I'll just stop. Are you done talking about you too? Can we talk about people who made real music?
Yeah, go on. No, fair enough.
Are you going to try and defend them again?
I like you too.
But there's only me here.
I like you too.
Me and the audience.
No, go ahead. What else have you got?
Musical perfection, good sir.
Oh, here we go.
Well, I think you'll agree that as far as this musician goes, it's the closest he ever got to perfection, and a lot of people would say that, everything he did was perfection, and he did a lot of good stuff, but I don't think everything he did was perfection. The album I have picked is Band on the Run by Paul McCartney and Wings. There is not a bad song on it.
It's probably the closest.
Dad, you're doing a lot of looking up here. Do you not just know these things?
It's probably the closest to an album from Wings or Paul McCartney. Oh, fuck, I've started. I know, I just want to look at the album. Band on the Run, Jet, Bluebird, Mrs. Vanderbilt. Yeah. I don't know the rest of those, though.
What?
I know 1985, but like, see, fucking Let Me Roll It, Mamunia, No Words, and Picasso's Last Words, Drink to Me.
They're class. Especially Picasso's Last Words, because it's like a... Just listen to it and it'll be like, whoa.
Fair enough.
Yeah, out of everything Paul McCartney has ever done, I'd say it's the closest to perfection, and I'm counting the Beatles in that.
But wait a minute. What about Mull of Kintyre? What about the Frog song?
I said that's the closest he has ever reached to perfection.
Mull of
What are you doing?
Kintyre.
Don't look up Mull. Don't play it first.
I'm just gonna sing it good enough to trigger the copyright. Whatchamacallit? Alright, I've got to give you another one now. Simple Minds had an album called Sparkle in the Rain. And it doesn't have any of their big hits on it, but it's a good album.
And did you find that a Messenger, did you? Aye?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
It's because I was talking about this to other people, so.
You have other friends except me?
Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys.
Like, no, hang on. No, that's not on.
Don't you worry about it.
These aren't your thoughts. These are other people's thoughts. We haven't got to the fucking community outreach part yet.
No, these are my thoughts that I talked about in that chat.
These are my thoughts just relayed to me by other people.
Just in that chat. Yeah, okay. What else have you got?
So, you need a refresher. Same as me looking at the screenshots that I took.
Yeah.
Right, so you've gone Pet Shop or Pet Sounds.
Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys is a very good album.
I've never listened to it.
Any of it? I think
I
it's...
probably know a couple of songs off it. I'm
Really?
guessing it's probably got like Good Vibrations or Surfing USA or...
There'll be something about surfing on there, like you can fucking bet your bottom dollar.
Surfing or America or a car.
I tell you what it does have. It has Let's Go Away for a While, which is on the Baby Driver soundtrack. Wouldn't it be nice? This is the first song
on it?
Yeah.
Which has...
And God only knows.
There's your link. Wouldn't It Be Nice is on it. The other one is in Baby Driver. Wouldn't It Be Nice is on the Sky adverts with the woman from Baby Driver on it. Can we associate every song in this album to Baby Driver?
Probably. Or every...
We're not gonna, but we probably could.
Yeah. God only knows. Sloop John B. Fucking Let's Go Away for a While. Yeah, it's a good old album.
Let's go away.
Let's go. Yeah.
Okay.
What else have you got?
One that you haven't listened to a lot.
I've listened to it.
You've probably heard a couple of songs. I don't know if you've listened to it from start to finish before.
What is it?
I don't know if it's the type of thing you would listen to from start to finish. You'd stick a couple of songs on it when you're in the mood for them, but probably as part of the playlist. I don't think you would ever go to the album and pick them. It is... Now, I had to think about which one of their albums I would listen to without skipping any tracks, because I'm a big fan of this band. No, it's not Queens of Stone Age.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan of this band, but a lot of them, they had a lot of filler in some of their other things. You know, whenever it's that time in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, basically experimental times, and they discover new technology, and like, fuck, gotta put that in. I was like,
Yeah.
you didn't have to do that. Why did you spoil it? Why are you standing naked in a bathroom holding a bass guitar, playing it with your necklace, and recording the sounds and releasing that as an album or as a track?
Who is this? Who are we talking about?
Album I have picked is Paranoid by Black Sabbath.
Oh yeah, well Ozzy Osbourne is like clinically insane. Like he is not
But he
all
doesn't play
there.
bass, it wasn't him.
Oh, aye, but he is not all there. Like
You shut the fuck up. You picked.
you gonna tell me he is all there?
You sit there.
I've seen the man eat plastic fruit.
You sit there picking fucking you as well. You
and
also.
You too.
And you try and tell me.
But Ozzy Osbourne's not all there.
I dare you to say.
You're not saying no.
I'm not saying
Not denying it.
No, that album there, they have a lot less filler on it, which is weird because that album was released the same year as their first album. They released 2 albums in 1 year, which is madness back then. Like, although maybe it was more common back then.
Beatles did it quite a lot. They were churning out
Look at their
one shit album every 6 months.
2 good songs and 1 shit album every 6 months.
Yeah.
But Sabbath did that there, and then they did one every year after until they kicked Ozzy out of the band. And then, as far as I'm concerned, they weren't Black Sabbath anymore. But that album there has like Iron Man, Paranoid, War Pigs.
That's my favourite Cardigans song.
So good. First Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath by the Cardigans.
I haven't mentioned First Band on the Moon by the Cardigans, which is I listened to it without skipping because you have the CD. I had the
That's
CD
not fair.
in the car, and genuinely like got to know it well enough to like not skip any of it. So thank you for that.
Oh, that's
'Cause he bought
that
my
was
CD.
really sweet, actually.
Thank you for subjecting me to the Cardigans.
There was a garage just down the road from where we are now, actually, and you had just bought your first classic car. We took it out for, I think that was literally the first spin.
Maybe, yeah.
And we stopped at the garage to put petrol in at like, what, 11 o'clock at night?
Late at night, and
after shifting Domino's.
yeah.
And we went up to the till to pay for the petrol, and they had like the CD rack, which for some reason a lot of places still have now, even though a lot of cars don't actually come with
Nobody
CD
has a
players
CD
anymore.
player anymore, but
And there was a Cardigans CD there, First Band on the Moon, and I seen it. I was like, I'm buying that for you. You were like, why? And I was like, don't know. Literally, like, it wasn't even the same year as the car or anything tenuous like that. I literally just like,
First Band on the Moon.
buying it for you.
Yeah.
And we played it, and you liked it.
Yeah.
That was when I used to do nice things for people. My time frame of doing nice things for people coincides with when I used to have expendable income.
Yeah, fair enough. Like,
Once I had no expendable income, I started being a cunt.
nothing left. Nothing doing.
I've got nothing left. But yeah, I think there is a song on it that I would skip,
Let me check.
but I don't know which one.
I do like again. It's one of the ones where I just listen to the album all the way through. I don't even know the track names.
Yes. First, see, I know track names because I would have sat in the back of my dad's car when I was younger, scrolling through the iPod, looking at the artwork and doing fuck all else because I didn't have a phone with dad on it back then. But my favourite Cardigans album is Gran Turismo for obvious reasons, but even it has songs I'd skip
Of course.
if it felt like it.
The funny thing about First Band on the Moon is the cover art for it. Like, if you'd only just seen that CD you gave me, like it looks like somebody just printed that out in their house.
Doesn't it?
Because it's got like a border at the top and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's real faded looking.
I bought it for myself whenever, like, again, when I was a teenager and I had, like, pocket money, I would buy CDs online. I remember it arriving and being like, those bastards sent me a copy of the CD.
It just fucking, like,
bad.
DVD rewritable.
Yeah, so weird on the front, but on the back it was perfect.
Yeah.
But the front just looked
It just looks
knockoff.
faded and
It looks like the DVDs you would get from down the market.
it's like a
somebody stands up halfway through the film.
it's like it's like a blurry picture of them playing.
Yeah.
Like all faded out and all.
And like I looked it up, they weren't even the First Band on the Moon. Like I don't know where the fuck that came from. It's cool.
Yeah.
But where did it come from? Where did it go?
They do have some like really good song titles, like Happy Meal 2.
Yeah. I like McDonald's as well.
Yeah.
Could we get sponsored by McDonald's?
McDonald.
Right, we'll fucking pick another one. I've got 2 left because we need to go on to our.
Yeah, true. We need to talk to and about other people's stuff.
I don't think we have a lot to say about other people's ones, but you know,
We'll do it. We'll just include
we'll
them.
talk about it.
You want one of mine?
Yeah.
Culture Club.
Although before you did the art, doesn't matter.
Culture Club, another good straight artist, and Kissing to Be Clever, which
Wait, another good straight artist is the name of the album.
No, that's what Culture Club is. Not. Kissing to Be Clever, which
Watch
has.
yourself. We're gonna. I'm not gonna have this conversation with you again.
Do you want funny?
What?
Well, I mean, it's not a lie. Like, they are like a gay icon artist, aren't they?
No, totally fair. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
That sounded like it was said with malice, and it wasn't.
It has Do You Really Want to Hurt Me on it, which is probably their best song as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
I thought it might have had.
Clock of the Heart.
I thought it might have had Time on it, but it doesn't. Time must be on
my
the.
favorite Culture Club song because of
Must.
Hardy Books.
Yeah, it's such a
It's
weird.
also a tune, actually. The more I listen to it, the more I'm like, fuck, that's class.
It is. It's really good. I really like Culture Club, to be honest, and it's something you couldn't really say in the early 2000s.
No, fair enough. Are you finished looking at your phone, or
I'm just trying to tell you which fucking album that Time brackets Clock of the Heart is on.
they don't need to know that?
They do. I think it's just on Culture Club. Like the eponymous fucking first album that every 80s artist did.
That's a fun word for you. Eponymous. Not many people
Self-titled.
know what it is. It means
Self-titled.
named after itself. And I learned that from the TV show Pointless.
Thanks,
'Cause it
Richard
was-
Osmond?
Alexander
Armstrong,
and
Richard Osmond, Richard Armstrong.
There was a round of like it was called eponymous albums, and I was like, "What the fuck's that mean?" And he explained
Talk
it, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Talk by Talk, which again
It's
I
going
would
to be
probably.
another podcast. Let's delete that. Best
Okay.
eponymous albums. Okay. Narrow that one down a lot quicker than we have this one.
Yeah, fair enough.
So,
Okay.
you picked Culture Club. You're not gonna like this one, but
Good.
I like this one.
Good.
And a lot of people will agree with me on this one. Although a lot of fans of the band didn't like this one until they released their other stuff, and then they were like, "Actually, that was pretty good. Let's go back to that, please." It was the first CD I ever bought. Does that help you?
Probably Queens of Stone Age.
No.
Florence and the.
No. First CD I bought was no, it would have been about Florence's time.
Black Keys.
No. You're doing a lot of late bands. This is old. Oldish. They're still on the go.
Pearl Jam.
No, but that would have been a badass kid to be.
What was it then?
Metallica and
fuck
Justice
yeah.
for All.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not into Metallica.
And that is my choice. Every song on it is brilliant. A lot of the fans hated it because you couldn't really hear the bass, but like, who cares about the bass anyway? No.
Who cares about the drums?
Right.
Just keeping time, like.
It actually won on it. Like the song won.
Yeah, that's gonna. It won. What did it win?
It was a single in 1989. And it's on
Alright.
like your Spotify, like of the years you put on 1989, and it's all like fucking Stone Roses, hippie jams, fucking proper pop songs, fucking Paula Abdul, and then fucking it's an interesting shuffle.
Yeah.
But every song in it I think is brilliant. They're all about 10 fucking minutes long and they're badass, but like people will say, "Oh, Master of Puppets," no, it's the same, but that's my favorite Metallica album. So that's
Fair
that.
enough.
Another one, please.
Florence and the Machine. Now that I mention it, HB3.
H cubed.
HB3. Which pencil do you want? HB3.
I thought about it and I thought, no.
What don't you like on it?
Skip. And it's really annoying because there's only one I would skip.
How big? How blue? Well, obviously not gonna skip How Big, How Blue, How fucking name of the
Best song
album.
on it. I would skip. You could take off St. Jude from that album.
Yeah,
And Barry
St.
Stone's
Jude
The
is-
Saints.
St. Jude is a bit like slow, but I wouldn't skip over it. You know.
For an album with so many highs, it has very slow lows.
St. Jude.
I would take out St. Jude and I would take out Various Storms and Saints, and that album would be perfection.
Fair
My
enough.
favourite song on that album is a fucking bonus track.
Is it? Which one do you like?
Mother. That's my favourite one on it.
Hmm.
It's epic. I think it's because I remember going to Auto Heroes years ago
Mhm.
in my GTI because I haven't mentioned it in the last 10 minutes. So I gotta mention it again. And it was like 6 a.m, sunrise.
Yeah.
Behind your Barth and behind Doyle's 206, and that came on with the sunrise.
Nice.
I had it full volume, and I had just dropped a gear and gunned it whenever it was the big bit, and I was like, "Oh, this is as good as life gets, boys."
Nice.
It wasn't,
It was not as good as Light Guy.
Because it broke down shortly afterwards when the battery terminals gave up. But
Fuck.
it was pretty good.
Fair enough.
So I would skip on that one, but I did think about it.
Yeah,
It's weird hearing you being such a fan of a Florence album because I always liked Florence and you give me a beast for it.
I listened to everything.
Yeah, but you used to give me a beast for it, lad.
I was back in the good old days when you could give a beast for things.
Back when there were no repercussions.
Have you one more?
Yes, I have one more.
Okay, you give your one
And
more.
it's one you have not listened to. In fact, don't know if you know anything of it.
Interesting.
It is by a band called Caius.
Kiss.
Caius, which was Josh Homme's first band. So there's no Queens of Stone Age on my list, but there is some Josh somewhere. And it's And the Circus Leaves Town. It was their last album, technically, because they had another album that was a half album with Queens of Stone Age. It was called Caius / Queens of Stone Age, I think, or was it Gamma Ray? Anyway, it was their last proper album, and I thought, fuck. I just have really, really good memories of just sitting and listening to it with headphones. Remember when you were younger and you had nothing else to do, so you would just sit and listen to music with headphones on, like?
Yeah.
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 Not very often, like, I wasn't demented. Wasn't simple or anything, like. But,
sitting in his chair.
and it was one of their songs from it was in Need for Speed Carbon, and it was the song when the Dodge Charger shows up on screen. It's one of the first bosses you face, so a lot of people would have heard it at the time. But yeah, even the 25-minute song at the end, that has about 15 minutes of silence.
Does it? Is that like a mistake? Is that like a fucking recording mistake?
No, it's I will never forget the first time I heard this. It was the freakiest fucking thing, right? So it's called Spaceship Landing. And it's about this fella going out into the desert. He's had an argument with his woman and he's rode off and he staggers through the desert and aliens abduct him.
Yes.
And then send him back down to Earth. So the first 2.5, 3 minutes, I think, is kind of just a song. It's like, oh, fucking fuck you and shit. It doesn't actually swear.
Yeah.
But then it ends, it ends, and then there's 10 minutes of nothing. And in the middle of those 10 minutes, is just these really random bass noises start happening, and it sounds like a fucking spaceship coming to abduct you, and then there's weird noises. And then nothing for 10 more minutes. And then just fucking the dirtiest riff ever, then closing it out. But I was lying in bed wearing headphones the first time I heard it. And because I was doing something else as well, sounds really rude, I was probably on MSN or something. Doesn't sound any less rude. But I was just sitting there and it was it had ended, the first bit had ended, and I didn't pay any heed because I was in the middle of doing something, and then just all of a sudden, at 2 o'clock in the morning, nothing happening, headphones on, just these random noises happening, and I was like, what the fuck was that? And then nothing. And then because I didn't really know what it was, I was like, fuck. And I just went back to what I was doing. And then the rest of the song played, and I was like, and then I looked on iTunes because that's what I use at the time. Just the songs, 25 minutes. I was like, Jesus Christ, boys!
Fucking hell.
So it freaked me out, and it's brilliant. It's worth the first time listen because it obviously loses its touch the more times you hear it, but still wouldn't skip it. I think
enough.
It's basically a bonus track. It was like a hidden track or something like that, so it doesn't really count.
Yeah.
But I recommend listening to Spaceship Landing sometime if you're bored.
Fair enough, yeah.
Probably rode off or stoned. I don't get stoned, but I assume
it would be good.
Shall we go to...
Yeah, let's talk about other people's, because I'm sure we've been here for...
only just nearly an hour now, so we're actually just about getting there.
Okay.
So, the first person to respond to us, and I really don't have very much to say about this one, Josh McPheely, Jacket Man, who called me out for calling him a cunt whenever I said he didn't respond when I was nice about him. And he's like, I'm not a cunt. And I was like, oh, you did listen. Right, okay.
You got told.
He says Van Morrison, Main Dance.
I like Van Morrison. I know you don't.
There's one Van worth listening to, lad, and it's Van Halen. Hell yeah, brother.
Which one in that band was called Van?
Eddie Van Halen.
That's not his first name. Moondance has Moondance on it. It's a good old song, like.
Is it?
Moondance. It's a wonderful day for a moon dance. Into the Mystic, which is good. I wouldn't listen to the whole album all the way through.
Pleasing the audience here, because
No, I
don't
genuinely
care,
like.
So he's talking to you.
I like
right
Van
now.
Morrison. Like I like Brown Eyed Girl and all that. You know. You just hate Irish musicians that aren't filled in it. Like, go on, name me one.
Fuck. Do I hate every Irish musician that isn't filling it?
I think you do.
What about local artists?
What, Big Tom?
As long as they don't sing, I quite like them. Yeah, you're right. I actually just fucking hate Irish artists.
Weird.
Not
Anyway.
true. I just haven't found the right one yet. I like Jim Morrison. I like Van Halen. I don't like Van Morrison.
Fair enough.
That would be my kind of mix-up, though. Like Jim Morrison singing like "Jump."
Might as well jump.
Indians
Indians scattered on the highway bleed.
It'd be like a big break in the middle of Jump where he would just recite poetry.
Running a little bit hot tonight. Can barely see the road for the steam coming off.
Why is he also the guy from fucking fucking King of the Hill? That's your King of the Hill voice, yeah.
Hill. He does. He is a little bit like Southern, isn't he? He's like, he sounds a wee bit like that. Anyway,
Okay.
who's next?
Officially Emma Thompson.
Elliot.
He says Opposites by Biffy Clyro. So I don't.
Did you ever
know
listen to
about
Biffy
you,
Clyro?
But that's what I was just gonna say. I missed the whole Biffy Clyro thing. I wasn't there.
I'd
I was
made-
there. I just didn't play any part in it.
I'd mates who listened to Biffy Clyro, but I
I
never.
had the same mates
Yeah,
at the time.
Yeah.
The same mates.
But no. Where's Opposites? 2013.
2013.
That was even after probably the people that I knew were listening to the earlier stuff. Yeah, no, I
listened to it before. It's cool.
I think it was still cool. Like, I think they were well thought of back then.
It's a they.
Is Biffy Clyro not a band?
I don't know. I thought it was.
Biffy Clyro's a band.
I thought like it's Biffy.
Oh, it's one
not a
person.
name.
Like, by the way, which one's Pink? Which one's Biffy? Oh, Biffy.
Well, Biffers. So remember I said at the top, fuck, I didn't realize we had so many depressed fucking fans.
Mm-hmm.
Two people have said the same artist, and they both clearly need to, like, I don't know, maybe see somebody or something.
Who are we talking about?
Owen McBrien says, "Okay, computer," from before Radiohead got weird. When was that? Like, never.
I think Radiohead probably were always weird on, to be fair.
Yeah. And then just to top it off with the... I really don't like Radiohead. Ali McMillions, remember we were talking about Mark II Golf Southwest?
Yeah.
His wife, who you said you would get some embroidery off of and never did. Just gotta throw that out there.
Still might. Still fucking might. Just haven't needed the uniforms yet.
His wife Jo says the Benz by Radiohead. And it's not the Benz as in like...
It's the Benz,
Mercedes-Benz.
like decompression sickness.
Yeah.
I
Like
used to really enjoy Karma Police. I had that on my MP3 player, if you remember what that was.
Was it one of the ones where you would take the end off and it was just a USB pen? You could actually plug.
No, this is a proper fancy one. This was like a creative branded one.
Was this
from
Mom,
Japan.
can I have iPod? No, we have iPod at home.
I think it cost £100 at the time, which was a lot of money.
Fuck, that was a lot of money, man.
And it like displayed the name of the song on it and all. It was just when the iPods were coming out, so they were about to be like wiped out. But I had
trying to keep the good little man going.
I was trying to keep the Android that didn't exist yet. Really, I had Karma Police, and I think off of the Benz I might have had.
Dead Air is a crime, Connor.
It's not. It's
Somebody's
grand.
driving in the car right now. I think
Street Spirit brackets Fade Out, which is the last one on the Benz. So I like both of those albums, but I wouldn't listen to them the whole way through. That's all I got for you.
I have Pablo Honey because my brother gave me a shit ton of music on my iPod. Like, in amongst Snoop Dogg and fucking Faithless was Radiohead, and I was like, right, if you're giving it to me, I'll give it a try. It was shit.
I like Faithless.
I like Faithless. I'm not talking about Faithless. Don't you fucking bring Faithless into this. We're slagging Radiohead.
You mentioned Faithless, and I hadn't mentioned it
that was a
earlier.
top-notch album, but I'll probably still skip some. Like,
Yeah.
But anyway, just so depressing. Like,
They're quite depressing, yeah.
don't get
That's
me
the
wrong.
thing.
I get the whole I'm sad at the minute. Let's put on something sad to make me sadder.
Mm.
But I just
Thom Yorke went to the same university as me.
All right.
Anyway, that's all I got to offer.
Jimmy Nesbitt, give me my degree. Big whoop.
Jimmy Nesbitt hasn't got a degree himself. Don't you fucking... James Nesbitt. James
Yeah.
to you.
Fucking James to you, Sean. But yeah, no, I never got into the whole fucking Radiohead thing. Just it's always the same type of person that likes Radiohead. I'm sorry, but it just is. Like, I'm not going to describe that person, but it's always the same person. An interesting one here from Kieran. Hide your DMs because I'll spam anyone. Wilson. He says White Ladder by David Gray. Now,
does that have like
the one David Gray song?
Yeah. What do you call it? Yeah.
I don't know what that song's called, but I know that's by him. See, my story with White Ladder is
Babylon. That's the one everyone knows. It also has Sail Away, so it has the two.
Sail Away?
But not by Enya, by David Gray.
I thought we were back to Donegal again.
David Gray's not from Donegal, is he?
No, he's not from Donegal.
Message me if David Gray's from Donegal.
Him particularly. Don't fucking message me.
Message the chat.
See,
David Gray.
Story with David Gray's White Ladder is Ma had the Ford Fiesta, and in the glove box would have been the CDs, and it was Paul Weller's Hit Parade, which in itself you would never skip, but it's a compilation of greatest hits, so that's not really fair. And The Road to Hell by Chris Rea, where most of the disc or
Part
songs
one.
skipped.
Yeah.
Thankfully it skipped on that. No, I would put that in, and as soon as it started, Ma would be straight to the thing, like, skip part one, nobody wants that.
It really does not end anything, really.
And then Amy Winehouse, Back to Black.
That's a good album. I would have said that, probably.
But it was so scratched that like most
skipping
of
every song, like
I just
skipped
knew,
itself.
I just knew which ones fucking didn't work.
Yeah.
And David Gray, White Ladder, and I never once in 10 years we had that Fiesta, not once did that CD go in the CD player.
Really?
Every other album there did. If I had to put it on even once, I maybe would have had like positive connotations and would have listened to it, but
you didn't. It was a very popular album. It was very early 2000s.
Yes, a lot of people like. He played a gig or something like last year, didn't he? And the whole of the internet went buck mad.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe we're just in different circles.
Maybe.
But yeah, so that was Kieran Wilson's one.
Okay.
I'm sure it's a solid choice. I don't know. Mark Donnelly says Jackie Moon, Love Me Sexy.
Don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but the album cover is Will Ferrell, so it's from
it must be from Will Ferrell film, is it?
It's one of the few Will Ferrell films I mustn't have seen.
Yeah, true. I like
so can't relate on that one, but I assume it's very good. Considering the 3 songs on it are the main song and then an a cappella version of the same song, like a remix.
Fair enough.
It's basically a single. Who else? What have we got here? Jen.
Yep.
Jennifer.572, my woman. She says, honestly, Rebecca Black.
Does Rebecca Black only have one album?
I don't know.
Was the album called Friday?
No, see, that's what I'm gonna get into. Younger viewers might remember
Friday.
The internet hit that was Friday by Rebecca Black, but she's done a whole different style now. She's like, it's like Carly Rae Jepsen. She's actually good now.
What did Carly Rae Jepsen used to do?
Call Me Maybe.
But like,
I'm talking like songs of our time of the internet that just were slagged all the time, basically. Like
Friday was a single. Did Jen say which album?
No, that's what I was going to say.
Because actually she's released a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, Jen actually went to see her in somewhere in England. I think it was Bristol. Can't remember. I'm gonna get shouted at for not remembering. Not shouted at, but like disappointed in.
Wait, it says she only has. Friday was a single. She only has one album. It's Let Her Burn.
Oh,
from this year or last year.
Well, that makes sense then because that's what's on.
So there only is one.
So there you go. Apparently, it's a non-skipper. I have only heard a couple songs from it from like being in the car.
Fair enough, yeah.
Make a comment, but
nice.
Apparently that one there is good to go. Who else? Nevi. I'm guessing it's Neve.
How do you spell that?
NIVIEE _ I think that's 2 underscores. That's too long of an underscore.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
I was trying to trick the system. Scream, aim, fire. Bullet for my Valentine. Old school racist remark. Remember that was considered racist for a while because Donald Trump did it.
I hate symbols.
Like, how is okay? Nationally recognized
Okay.
symbol for okay. Yes, that's racist now.
That's what you do when you're scuba diving. You're like, okay.
Fucking sound.
Bullet for my
I
Valentine.
absolutely was not into any of that.
Me
See,
neither. But the people we hung around with were, so.
that's the thing. That's what I was gonna. The last point of the podcast. How did me and you manage to be around so many like emos and things and turn out okay? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We weren't emos at the time, despite all the bullying I got in high school for being an emo. But what they meant by emo was
You had long hair.
you had long hair, even though I listened to metal music, but like not
Not the
emo.
70s anymore, dude.
Yeah, I was a rocker. I wasn't an emo. I was like walking about listening to fucking.
The distinction wasn't made.
Yeah. See, the brain hadn't fully developed for people at that age. But like I got called emo all the time, and I actually wasn't.
Yeah.
And the irony is, I now go back and listen to the emo bands that I like.
You sit and enjoy Paramore now, like.
But that's the only one. I don't like any of the rest.
After laughter.
I know that's okay.
It's just the name of the album, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's not
but that's the thing.
actually
Like,
a song.
that's not even emo stuff that I listen to.
No.
Like I never got into any of that Bullet for My Valentine or that 30 Seconds to Mars bars or fucking any of the
Jared
rest.
Leto.
Like,
Which was Jared Leto's band?
30 Seconds to Mars.
Was it 30 Seconds to Mars? I can never
I hate
remember.
Jared Leto.
It's funny to hate him. Like,
Best thing he ever did was get his shit kicked in by Brad Pitt, like in Fight Club.
or in American Psycho, where he gets.
massacred in this American Psycho. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like, what about you? Like, how did you like? Not only did you avoid the whole emo thing, but you also avoided the whole metal thing being around me. How?
Just did. Just
This is-
just pure Galway. Like.
This is
I don't know. I just was into my own stuff, which nobody else liked anyway. So. Nobody like see all this like 1980s fucking nostalgia shit. That's the last like 10 years has been really big. Like nobody liked it then.
It's true. We just avoided, like, or not. We just avoided.
We just avoided the
missed
80s.
that. Literally,
Yeah.
like just after. Like I used to get slagged in high school. I was called 80s boy because I liked the 80s stuff, and I drove a Mark II Golf like I was 80s boy.
Yeah.
But now that would be a cool thing. Every
Yeah,
dickhead
that's what I
walking
mean,
about
like-
wearing a mullet.
Yes, that's the thing. They're fucking wearing mullets now. Like things do just go in circles like that. I think if you were into the 90s now, you might be like bullied for it in school.
You think?
Probably, yeah. Like if you
I
were
think
like, oh, I
nostalgia
love,
in general is cool now.
like if you're like, oh, I love Kurt Cobain, you'd be like, wise up,
Go and shoot yourself.
wise up, because you would just be like a depressed grunger, wouldn't you?
You don't have to be. If you like
You do.
Nirvana, you're probably a depressed.
Yeah.
There's some sad Pearl Jam songs. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
But I think like,
we were before our time.
early 2000s.
By liking before our time.
Yeah, it didn't work.
But
Did it wrong.
who's the winners now?
Not us. Probably not us.
We're not in high school. If I had the hairdo that boys have now, I'd have had my shit kicked in high school. Like,
Oh,
you'd have deserved it too.
your life wouldn't be worth living having a mullet.
The whole point of nostalgia, right, is that you take the best parts of the time that you didn't live in. So why the fuck are they walking about with mullets?
I don't
Nobody
understand
liked
that.
the mullet. Like, that wasn't cool. That's something that should have been forgotten in the 80s. I don't get it.
Me neither.
It's fucked.
But that's just the way it goes.
That's the way of it. Now, I don't know about you, but I've got a model desk to finish putting up.
Yes, I have to play War Thunder. The free MMO.
Free MMO. Yes, as always, I've been Tomo,
I've been Connor.
and we've been the WagonCast. Check us out on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Instagram. Fucking just do it. This is the second podcast.
Party on, Garth.
That's me.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You got it right the last time. Anyway, good luck.
Good luck.